Hey everybody, it's Matthew of Mr. Domestic, where I spread joy and positivity through sewing and fabric play. This video is all about me teaching you how to make a drawstring tied wine bag. Yay! I don't drink wine, so what I put in mine was some syrup for my coffee. Let me show you. So it doesn't have to just be for wine, right? Look, you wouldn't have thought it, huh? Sugar-free coconut. But this over here with the embroidery on it, this version is over on the Brothers Stitching Social blog. That's a sponsored blog post. And then in this video, I am going to show you how to make one without embroidery, just using quilter's cotton. So if that's what you're here to learn before we get into the content, anytime you're enjoying it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Now let's get ready to have some fun together. So for this, you really don't need that many materials. I have two different fabrics. This is the lining fabric and this is the exterior fabric, and it is 15 by 18 inches. And then, just so you can see, on the exterior, I fused a lightweight, non-woven interfacing. Not for any reason other than that's what I had a piece this size of. And then, this is for the tie. At a minimum, make sure that it's 3 inches by 30. I know this is longer because I want it kind of drapey. And then, I'm going to put these two aside for now and just deal with this. So from the top, you're going to use a ruler and 3.5 inches down. See, it's at 15. Let me make sure that you can see that. Right here, it's at 15. So at the 7 and 8, I'm going to mark it. And this is where the buttonholes are going to go. I'm even going to mark right here just so it's clear, and then I'll go ahead and I moved it down to 4. I'm going to mark it one more time. It's harder to see because I use blue, but let me show you. Right there, those are the two buttonholes. It's going to be a 1/2 inch buttonhole here and a 1/2 inch buttonhole here. And if you don't have a buttonholer foot on your sewing machine, you can alternatively use grommets, or you can hand sew a buttonhole if you want to. I don't know how to, so you'll have to look on YouTube for a video. But now I'm going to take this over and show you how Alfonso works his buttonhole magic. I am over at Alfonso, and I'm using that buttonhole, the rectangle one, just because I think that would be the best for this. And I want to walk you through the entire buttonhole experience if you've had this foot but have been kind of leery about using it. Generally, you'll put a button right in here. How do you open it? Oh, there it goes. You'll put a button there, and then it would magically create a buttonhole the same size or whatever size the button needed. But I'm not doing that. I just want to make sure this is a 1/2 inch. So I'm measuring it here. That looks like about a 1/2 inch. If it's a little bigger, no big deal. Sorry for the shaky shake. And then just click it on like this. And then and this is pretty much the same for all machines. There's a little buttonhole thing right here. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down. Just bring it down. And then lift this. So where this intersection is, you're going to start at the bottom because the buttonhole is going to move that way. Don't start at the top. We learn together. So I'm going for the bottom intersection right here is going to be the beginning. I'm going to line it up. Not sure if you can see those super good. Let's see. There's red line right there. You line up the red line with that bottom intersection. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm not using a stabilizer underneath. I think this is going to be good to go, but you might need a stabilizer. So I'm going to go. And just like that, one is done. Let me show you this buttonhole magic. Dun, 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 dun. And there are a couple ways to open it. I feel like I have more control if I use scissors compared to a seam ripper. But if you want to do the seam ripper thing, a good tip is to like put a pin here on the top and the bottom just to make sure the seam ripper doesn't go all the way. And bum, 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 bum. There you go. And now I'm just going to do one more in fast forward, and then I'll come back and chat with you. Okay, so now I am back over at my mat just to show you the fold to get the full thing. So this is lengthwise, this is the top because the buttonholes are here. And I'm gonna fold it like this. And I'm gonna take it back over to Alfonso and stitch up the side and stitch up the bottom. And then come back here and show you how to square off the bottom. So head with me over to Alfonso. Okay, now I brought this over and I'm just going to stitch up about 1/4 of an inch, or if y'all watch my videos, I just go to the end of that because it's easier than measuring. And then I'm just going to stitch. So all the way up one side. And this is the process you're going to use for the lining also. So everything I do to the exterior, you are also going to do for the lining. So see, I'll speed you up. Don't. Okay, that's about 1/4. And then go all the way to the end. And that's all the stitching. Right here I'm going to back stitch just because I felt like it. And okay, so I have enough room here to show you what I'm going to do. The bottom right here, get it really like that. So I'm going to start with the crease. This is the corner. See what I'm doing? Folding the fabric like this, and I want to make sure that this seam is lined up with that seam. And if you're not sure when you do this, you'll be able to tell once you put the ruler on it. I'm just going to feel it. There we go. Looks about right. And then for me, I'm going to put the center line. I want this line right here to be 4. That's not exactly square. If you want to do 3.5, go for it, but 4 is easier to explain. And so I'm putting the 2 right here. And then this is pretty close, but like, let's say it went, I'll show you right here. It went like this, and I put it on the 2. I would see that I needed to move it over a little bit like this. So let's get it true, like this. And this is called squaring out the bottom. It's really easy, quick way to do a bag bottom. Just mark the full line there, and that's going to be your stitch line. And then do it again here. And there's no seam on this side, but you can use the ruler measurement trick. Put this right on there, the 2. And it's like I've done this before. It landed right, pretty close. It's a little off there. I'm okay with it. If you're not, then work on it. Okay. So now I'm going to measure it. There. And I'm going to square this off. There. And now, back to the sewing machine. I'll take this since this is freshly folded, and I am just going to stitch all the way across. Back stitch. And stitch all the way across. And then back stitch. And then do the other side. Boom, boom, boom. Back stitch. It just secures that stitch because this is a pretty important seam in the bag. But if you want to go like back, forth a couple times, go for it. I just know that this wonderful thread is awesome. Okay. And then you just trim off like that. It's where there's maybe a 1/4 inch seam allowance here. Trim off that excess. And then I am going to do the lining off camera, and then I'll come back and show you the next step. So now I have the lining done and the exterior done, and I am going to shove the lining inside where it's going to be right sides together, like this. And then I'm going to line up these seams right here. And then make sure all of the edges are flush like this. Boop, 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 boop. And now I'm going to take it back over. So now I have this over. I took whatever that's called out. I don't know what it's called. If y'all know, put it in the comments. And with these together, I'm going to sew around the top, still a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I'm going to go all the way around, except I'm going to leave just a little bit. It's between 1 and 2 inches right here, back stitch. And this is so I can bring everything out from that hole. Like this, and then you're gonna have like a big hot dog looking thing. Boom, boom. It's exciting watching me take it out. Okay, and then pull it all the way out, and then you'll stick the lining back into the exterior. Like that. And normally I would probably take this over and press this just to make sure it's perfect, but I'm not going to. But if you pull on it right here where that gap is, then it will naturally create the fold for you. And if you pressed it and cemented it, then it's even better. But for time, I'm not. So I'm going to edge stitch all the way around, probably between edge and 1/8 of an inch, just to make sure to get all of it. Right here, I'm just going to back stitch here and secure that. And then the next thing you need to do is create the tunnel right here. This right here is 3 inches down from there about, but I like it to start from here and end over there. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Okay, so what I'm going to do, instead of having to measure it because I'm lazy, I'm going to start here, and then I'm just going to use washi tape. This looks about straight to me. And create a line if I can open it. Where is it? That's the worst. There you go. I found some washi tape that Helena hadn't claimed yet. Okay, so I'll put this right here. There you go. And then starting here, I'm going to back stitch. And then go all the way around. And this is creating the tunnel for the tie to go into. Look at that. Boom. Okay, back stitch here. Remove the washi. Lift it up. I'm going to put it down here. Use the washi tape again. Boom, boom. Back stitch. And go around again. And if you wanted to make sure this is perfect, you can totally like use chalk and a pen and a ruler to get it, but this is pretty accurate to me. Ooh. So now the tunnel is created, and it's time to make the tie. And it's going to be a similar thing to leaving a gap, but I'm going to start on one end, fold it right sides together, using that trusty estimated 1/4 inch. Hold on, back stitch. For those who are quilters and don't make a lot of bags or other things, there's a lot of back stitching in apparel and bag making, just because you want to secure the seams, make sure that the thread doesn't come out. And then at any point towards the middle of this, then then leave the gap. There we go. So I'm going to back stitch here. Skip ahead, maybe 2 inches. And then continue. And I'll pass forward. Now you want to find the gap and bring it right side out. Maybe I'll start here. I have a little pencil. If you don't have a tube turner thingy, go like this. Woo! Woo! Shaking things up. Boom, boom. Where's the there we go. And then before you pull it all the way out, try to get the corners out as much as possible. If you want it to be perfect, you can get a corner pointer thingy. Okay, there's one, and now I'm going to do the other side, and I'll just fast forward. You don't need to see it. Okay, now I have pressed this, and it's hard to even tell where the gap is. I can see it because of the loosey-goosey thread. Just start somewhere. I'll probably just start here and edge stitch all the way around. I like to do that even though there's a fold in it, just because I think it decoratively looks cuter. So I'm going to go all the way around. I'll fast forward, and then the only thing after this we have to do is to insert this into that tube. Fast forwarding now. So now, with this all done, I have a wefty just because I love Terra. But like, you can use a needle like this, maybe a big thick yarn needle. You can use a safety pin. I don't know where mine are, but the safety pin trick, that is great. Like if elastic ever comes out of like a drawstring shorts or anything like that, you can use that to funnel it through. So I'm going to start here. And just so you can see, it's this one, not that one that I'm going this way. And then just make it go all the way through, pulling as you go, like this. And I feel it coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. There, I found it, boop, boop. Okay. Where is the fabric? Where is the fabric? Where is the fabric? There it is. So, once the fabric gets out, bump. There we go. And now I'm going to trim this up, clean it up, and you're going to see my face in a second. I'm going to show you the finished bag. Woo! Yay! This version is awesome. It took even less time since I didn't have anything in the front, but you can put something in the front, you can do some quilting on it. There are lots of options for this, and it doesn't just have to be for like sugar-free syrup or wine. You can change the dimensions, make it just a go-to drawstring bag pattern. Easy peasy. Once again, this would make an awesome gift for either yourself or the loved ones you have in your life. So if you enjoyed this video, got a laugh, a tip or a trick, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Keep it positive, y'all. Let's put a mess stick out.